Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Today, we have one more set of great revenge stories. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. And our first story. Scum tenants try and skip town, leaving all their crap behind. About 10 years ago, my parents decided to rent their shack, summer home, to long-term tenants as we weren't using it much. It was a nice house, and they'd put a lot of time and effort to make it as good as their main home. Backstory. The area was nice with a mix of shackies and permanent residents. We had water views, a short walk to the beach, and about an hour drive to the CBD. The family that got in seemed okay. The dad had a job, mom was on DSP as their circa 7-year-old daughter. After about 6 months, they started getting behind, paying rent late, and were letting the place get all tatty. My mom wasn't impressed, and she's very house-proud. In this state, if a tenant is late, you can give them a notice to vacate. But if they bring the rent up to date within 14 days, the notice is void. It's an important step, because after issuing 3 notices, you can evict the tenants. Anyway, I was tasked with driving the hour trip to issue the first notice. I did it as I had the time and also wanted to let them know that it wasn't an eviction notice and to explain that it was null and void so long as they paid their rent. I get to the property and see what Mom had mentioned about the property being tatty. I see their Mastiff dog tearing around the yard with their kids' toys and crap everywhere. I start thinking, this isn't a nice family, this is gutter trash. I go through the gate, ignoring the Mastiff. I'm about 6'2" and 100 kilograms, and nudge the jumping dog out of the way and knock on the door and await the answer. I nearly crap myself when the guy opens the door. He's like 6'8" and built like a brick crap house. I explained that I'm the landlord's son, and I was there about the rent, and nicely explained that they just need to bring it up to date, and if they do, the letter doesn't mean anything. He opens up the letter and loses his crap, basically telling me to F off. Anyway, they bring rent up to date, buying themselves some time. Then they stopped paying. Second time, I go down with another notice, and they're gone, which wouldn't have been a bad result, but I see the state of the property and realize these aren't just gutter trash, they are proper crap bleeps. Dirty mattresses outside, an old couch their dog had been sleeping on, broken toys and gear outside, garbage inside and out, broken furniture inside, and one of the worst, the dogs had been inside the house, torn carpet, crap stains, filth. Anyhow, they're gone, and my parents and I start the process of many weekends of work to get the place suitable for human occupation. In addition, starting the small claims court process. Dad got a summons, but it still has to be served. Lodging the matter with a collection agency. I'm determined to find these crap bleeps. He's been fired from his job, but I did find her Facebook profile, so I know it'll only be a matter of time. A week or so later, Mom spotted them in the local supermarket near home. A lead. This means that they're most likely in the local area. I spend a few hours driving around looking for their car, but to no avail. In the meantime, we're still cleaning up the property. All their crap has been dragged to the carport, ready for disposal. Another week or so passes, and I hit gold. This stupid bee posted on her public Facebook page that they're having a birthday party for their daughter, at their house, and their address. Not the revenge yet, but I go round to serve them the summons. Anxiety peaking, I knock on the door of their new house. The brick crap house opens the door to my crap-eating grin. It took him a moment to realize who I was. He's only seen me the once. Before, with a look of shock, he tried to slam the door, but not before I yell that he'd been served and throw the summons inside. Now some revenge. All of their stinking, half-wet, moldy possessions are still at Mom and Dad's rental. Dad takes a day off work and hires a tipper truck, and we set about filling it. Can you see what's coming? It took a good few hours and really filled the truck, garbage and everything. Just on dark, we roll past their house and happily their home as their car's in the narrow driveway. I open the gate on the back of the truck and remove the ropes and get back in to watch the fun. Dad starts to reverse, raising the tray as we go, timing it perfectly so he makes it to the driveway. It's about to fall. We're in the driveway and he dumps it, filling the driveway, blocking the car in, covering the front yard with all of their crap. Hearing the noise, Crap Bleep comes running out of the house screaming. But we're on our way, lowering the tray as we go. So effing happy. They're going to have fun with everyone turning up for their kid's birthday party the next day. especially as it'll take them hours to move their crap even to get their car out. Heaven knows what their neighbors thought. Cheers. And our next story. Want to undercut me on a job by doing shady and poor work? Fine. Just wait and see. I was an observer in this whole affair. Company A did fencing, walls, barriers, etc. Company A was run by Bob. Bob was a real upstanding guy, took over the business from his father, and really grew it into something big. Bob had an employee, Jake. Jake had been with Company A for quite a few years, but Bob and Jake always rubbed off on each other in the wrong way. Bob always felt like Jake was the king of shortcuts and shoddy workmanship. When Bob took over the company from his dad, Bob applied more pressure on Jake to bring up the quality of his work or be let go. Eventually, Jake got tired and quit, formed his own fencing company called Company B. Here's where I come in. I started a job in a company providing business services to small and medium-sized businesses in the area, and both Company A and Company B became my clients. This was several years after Company B had formed. From my outside viewpoint, Company A was that local company that's been around forever that does good quality work that you can trust, but they aren't going cheap. They never try to be cheap, but you can trust them. Company B was the young startup who was cutting corners and being competitive in every way possible, often by lying or misleading its customers. That's when Company C comes in. Company C was building a production facility in the area and wanted a wall with gates around its new production facility. This was going to be a big contract, and really the only two players in the area that could possibly do this job was Company A or Company B. This contract was worth a lot. If memory serves me correctly, the job was somewhere near 7 figures. Company A and Company B went to go bid. Company B came in at like a 30% lower price point, and even though Bob tried to explain it wasn't possible for Company B to do the work that was promised at the price point that was given, of course money talks, and Company B got the contract. I remember Bob was furious. In his eyes, he felt what Jake was doing was wrong. He didn't mind fair competition, but Jake's MO had always been way underbid, overpromise, rely on cost overruns to make a profit. Bob's opinion on business was a price is a price, and if he says he's going to do X for Y, he's going to do X for Y, even if he loses money. It's how he was raised. Some time goes by, and Bob gets a call from Company C. They've apparently fired Jake and his company due to not being able to do the work required, and ask Bob if he can come in and fix the mistakes. Bob agrees and gets the job done. At this point, Bob starts thinking he's got to take Jake out. Jake is taking too much money out of his pocket. Bob comes up with the idea of buying Jake out, but Bob knows if he approaches Jake, regardless of what he offers to pay, Jake is going to say no. So Bob's got to be smart. Bob's talking to me about this during one of our meetings. We'd become quite close. I tell Bob, I bet there are lawyers out there who specialize in helping other companies acquire other companies. Bob asked me if I know of any. I don't, but I did have a client who specialized in business law and would be more familiar with this whole thing. I give Bob his contact info and Bob thanks me. Bob contacts the lawyer and tells the lawyer what he'd like to do. The lawyer tells Bob a lawyer who used to work for him now works for a firm that specializes in mergers and acquisitions, and if Bob wanted to buy out Jake's company, he's confident this firm could get it done. Also, this firm was in the big city far away from their small community, so it's unlikely Jake would know what's truly going on. Bob contacts the firm and says he wants to buy out his competitor and would like to enlist their services. Now this is already getting a bit longer, so I'll get to the point. The firm ended up buying Jake's company, lock, stock, and barrel, and gave the company to Bob. All the while, Jake was completely oblivious to the fact that his archenemy has just acquired his very own company. I recall Bob describing to me the day he walked into Jake's company with such delight. Bob was told he owned the company. Jake had been paid and was expecting to meet the new owner of the company that pleasant Monday morning. Jake was given the title of general manager and was considered second in command now. So Bob walked into the building that once belonged to Jake with his documents and the lawyer that had helped him acquire the firm, who Jake was familiar with. Bob walked into Jake's office. To Jake's surprise, Jake. Hi, Bob. Bob. Hi, Jake. How are you? Jake. I'm good. What are you doing here? Bob. Oh, nothing much. Just thought I'd come check out my newly acquired business. Jake. Bob. Jake, you sold your company to me. Jake. I did what? No, I didn't. I sold it to XYZ. Bob. XYZ is the law firm I hired to organize the transaction. I'm now the owner. Jake. That's bullcrap. Bob. Here's the documents. Lawyer who Jake was familiar with confirmed this was all true. Jake. So you're now my boss? Bob. Yes. Now get up. That's my chair, and I'm tired. I want to sit down for a minute. Jake. This is my office. Bob. This is my company, and I've decided that this office is now my office, so I'm going to need you to get out of my chair. Jake gets out of the chair. Bob. Great. Well, have a sit, Jake. Jake. Thanks. Bob. Jake, I think the first order of business today is getting rid of redundancies. Jake. What do you mean? Bob. Well, you see, Jake, whenever a company acquires another company, you get overlap, redundancies. 2 HR departments, 2 secretaries, 2 accountants, etc. But now it's all one company. So now you got redundancies, overlaps, which is quite frankly a waste of money. Jake. Yeah. Bob. And I don't think I need 2 owners working for one company. He laughs as he tells me he had the biggest crap-eating grin on his face. Jake, it's become apparent that your services are no longer required, and effective immediately, you're terminated. Jake protested. Bob, the decision is final. You can collect your personal belongings and leave the premises. What time did you get to work this morning? 7 a.m., Jake says. Bob, great. So you've been here for 2 hours. I'll make sure payroll pays you out for 2 hours on the new agreed-upon rate in the buyout agreement. Have a nice day. Jake, so you're firing me just like that? Bob, yep, should have done this long ago. Jake, what about my family? Bob, Jake, I just bought your company from you and paid you a lot of money. You'll be fine. Now get out of my office and out of my building. And that is how Bob acquired and fired an employee he should have fired long before. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.